The dwarf guilds have developed a number of technologies that no other race possesses, and that are so specific that not even the scientists of the Earth homeworld can fathom how they work. Examples for the guild ingenuity in technological matters include the neoplasma reactor, which is powered by the warp core and harnessed by zero-energy containment fields. Another invention of the guilds are the land trains, gigantic moving fortresses with broad raid tracks designed to cross the treacherous dust seas and massive continental shelves of the guild homeworlds. Factory land trains that are equipped with giant scoops, that low-powered track cars or living quarters or other supplies such as war machines and mechs can be delivered where they are much needed. But there are many other technological advances of the guilds, including some which the stocky abhumans even consider dangerous for their own use. Hello again, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have gone back to the 3D printer, and I am going to build and paint one of my favorite models that One Page Rules has come out with, and they've recently been releasing these Dwarf Guilds models, which I really love. And this last month they released these mechs, and I love robots and I love mechs, anything like that, and I like all my armies to have some nice cool big centerpieces. And so yes, we've printed this boy out on my Frozen Sonic Mini. We're using the more durable, a little bit more expensive resin that is less brittle and better for miniatures. It's not perfect, but it has a more plastic type of texture to it. And we've built this guy up, and now I'm going to check it out. And I've used the little drain holes here to assist in pinning the model, and rather than using a paper clip, I'm just going to rely on a few of these here toothpicks, some super glue inside the washed and clean resin hollow unit. You know, a lot of these larger pieces, they come hollowed, which saves you a lot of resin, but these, both good and bad, the model this size is a little bit lighter than what you would have if you had a plastic piece. So we have to adjust on the way that we build here. So for larger bases, I tend to use these MDF coasters that you can buy off Amazon, and I kind of like wedge a few together. And we're just going to use some hot glue here, which we've carved some rocks out of some leftover pieces of that pink construction foam, one of our favorite little hobby tools, hobby materials. And in the United States, you can get this pretty regularly, easily at hardware stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, and if you're in the Midwest, places like Ace Hardware and Menards. And so I'm just slowly building this base here, and then the idea is that I'm going to use a ton of hot glue to wedge and pin the spikes into the piece. If this were a heavier model, this might not work, but since the resin is very light, the foam is very light as well, just a little hot glue, super glue inside will work just fine. You can maybe use like E6000, but I'm trying to avoid those glues with solvents. Super glue, stuff like that, will actually melt the foam. So even the pegs that I placed inside the super glue, I allowed that to cure before I finished and placed the model here. And as you can see, we are slowly but surely getting this piece going, and I've embellished the base with some rocks and some sand, a little piece of granny grating to position our little robot bully into the science fiction universe. And we're going to use primarily the same method we used before with our other Star Dwarf videos, and I'm going to do a little sped up version of it, and you can enjoy that painting. And I'm using some of my favorite products here, some of the Army Painter speed paint. And since I'm doing this larger model with all these surfaces, I want to be able to play around and push the speed paint around. And a great product, but there is a sort of like a drying agent in it, so if you don't go fast enough, this stuff dries so quickly. Also, it's the winter in the Midwest here, and I have a space heater going on in my little hobby room here. So what I do is I add a little bit of airbrush thinner, and the airbrush thinner has a bit of a like a retardant, a drying retardant, and that allows you a little bit more play time. And also, if you want to actually get and wet blend some of your contrast or speed paints, that will allow you to do that. And starting off with this kind of orange, and we're going with the orange, black, blue, green type of scheme that we did for the rest of our army for the vehicles. And you could check out the links below to one-page rules where you can get these models, get these STLs, and then also the 3 other videos that we've done on our dwarf guild army. Eventually we're going to do a battle report with these short kings, and we're also going to paint our Ravaged Star minis when they come in. That Kickstarter game found has concluded, and I'm going to have my hands full of dwarf guilds, and I plan on using that Ravaged Star miniatures which are just awesome for one-page rules. And we're going to do that same scheme. So generally going forward with the orange, a little bit of airbrush thinner, and not that much else to really say about painting this. And thank you to all of you who are watching. And I gotta do my YouTube shill, so smash the like button, like and subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and I'm done. I always kind of felt pretty uncomfortable about that stuff, but now that we've been here a year on YouTube, I'm feeling better about pimping myself. So yeah, like and subscribe, all that stuff. So we are doing some of the inner mechanical pieces, the joints in this green part of the weapons and the handles and some of the backpack, and then the more heavy armor, we're going to use the black speed paint in a combination with some dry brush metallics in order to create a cool dark metal that goes really good with this orange and green scheme. And then for the final sort of highlights, the glowy parts, the technological stuff, the gun, the weapon, there's some lights on the model. We are going to use this plasmatic bolt, turquoise speed paint, little green choosies, and I think that's my favorite speed paint. It's one of my favorite colors. Just a really rich, wonderful speed paint, and yeah, it's these are really good. If you're just getting into the hobby, if you don't have a lot of talent or time, contrast paints, speed paints are your best friend. Because if you just want to cover the model with the speed paints with a white base coat and go no further on the highlights or edge highlighting thing, your stuff's going to look just fine on the table. I would say it's going to look really good from a few feet away, and that's how we generally visually play these games. So I think it's a great way to start, and the price on Army Painter paints are going up a little bit recently with like inflation, and they've redone a few of their product lines, but I still feel that it's fair for what you're getting. And now I have not tried these new war paint set, but hey, Army Painter, if you're listening, wish me luck, send me money. Oh, see, just hear my tummy was growling. And just oh, there it goes again, poor starving artist. So yeah, Army Painter, would love your sponsorship, but you know, we only have like 300, 400 subscribers on the channel, so Army Painter, if you want to laugh at me too, you can, and but we'll be fine. So as we continue to paint this boy, generally once I complete the first step of getting all the speed paint onto the model, despite the drying time and the complaints about the reactivation, I tend to leave the speed paint initial layer to dry at least for 24 hours, and that way I can just be sure that those paints are totally set before I start my highlighting or cleaning up or basing, etc. And I think that works well for me too, because I'm a busy guy with a full-time job, and gives me some time to, you know, do my hobby stuff in spurts. So, you know, I don't have time to just basically sit down and like dedicate a day. Maybe one day on the weekends I can put in like 8 or 9 hours, but generally during the week I'm just doing a few hours. And this is the perfect kind of task for that, to just put in, you know, a few little hours and have some relaxation, get your like Bob Ross therapy time. And here I am going in with some white paint. This is key to the speed paint process, is these things are really flowy, and especially large surfaces, they kind of encourage you, the way that they flow, the way that they are placed onto the model, they tend to go to places you don't want them sometimes. So let it dry, be patient, and come back with a few layers of white, and you can really get some nice clean edges on your piece. And it's you know, it's this little magic erase technique over here. And generally I like to use like Vallejo white, or a high quality pro acryl white with a high pigment, so that I don't have to keep slapping thin layers over each little piece as we go. So if you want to freeze the screen here, I've put all the paints that I've used for this, just for the base, and just very simple. And I have it next to one of the previous painted infantry models, so you can see how the scheme for the army works together. You can go to the other episodes of the Star Dwarf series. There's 4 videos total, and that will show you how to take this a little bit further, how to dry brush, etc. But we're not going to really repeat too much of that. You know, just a couple simple things. We dry brush some Vallejo metallic over the black portions to create this kind of black metal here you see, and then just a few of the different big surfaces we do a little bit of highlighting, and that's about it for this model. And I hope you enjoy this series. We're going to take a break from the Star Dwarfs for a while. We're going to get back to some terrain building, some Mordheim, and some battle reports. And thanks for watching. Click the like, smash the subscribe, all that stuff, and we're going to roll that beautiful bean footage. Thanks for coming along.